1916, drivers have challenged the 14,000-foot Pikes Peak in the race to the clouds. But today, in the shadows of Pikes Peak, the United States Formula 4 2000 tried to... Welcome back to Pikes Peak International Raceway. Here's the starting lineup for the race. Matt Sealski will be our pole sitter. Andrea De Lorenzi on the outside of row number 1. Second row, Zach Morioka and Augie Paps III, his best start of 97. Third row, David Rutledge on the inside and Seth Taylor outside row 3. The fourth row, the Disney winner, Arubaton Hello, and Buddy Rice, the Phoenix winner. And then the fifth row, Andy Lally, who's changed teams. He's on the inside of the fifth row, and Luciano Zangirolami on the outside.
In row 6, Alan May and Duncan Dayton, who is currently second in the points. In row 7, Ryan Hampton and J. Michael Johnson, who has a new sponsor this weekend. And row 8 is Robbie McGee and Larry Foyt, son of the great A.J. Foyt. In row 9 is Jerry Foyt, Larry's brother, and Jeff Schaefer, who won around this year. And in row 10, Jeff Horn and 18-year-old Sam Hornish Jr.
And as you take a look at the rest of the starting lineup, I don't think we can overemphasize, Lee, the conversation in the pit area that was mentioned by our pole sitter of the tire possibilities that we have in this race.
I agree, Bob. It seems like there's two different strategies for this race. Some drivers are going to sit back and conserve their tires. Other guys are planning for some pit stops.
All right, the green flag falls, and here we go. Now, we've seen some 4 and 5 abreast racing on this track when the USAC midgets were here a few weekends ago, and by golly, we're seeing the same thing here. Look at this great group of cars heading down into turn number 1, 2, and 3 abreast. They get single file as they go down the backstretch, and everybody makes it safely through turns 1 and 2 down the backstretch. De Lorenzi has taken the lead. Sealski is running second, and Zach Morioka is third.
That's right. De Lorenzi is taking over the lead. This is his second race in the series. Unfortunately, his first start, he didn't quite make it through the first turn accident we had. He's actually driving a different... Oh, and look at Zach's car. Zach is just pouring fluid out there.
I thought Sealski was going to try to take over the lead there from De Lorenzi, but meanwhile, this problem is even more serious as a lot of smoke is pouring from Zach Morioka's car, or at least it did, down there in turns 1 and 2, but I don't see anything right now. Meanwhile, Sealski slides up high in turn number 4, almost loses second position to Morioka. And Lee, it doesn't appear as if that smoke has affected the running of the car very much, and I don't see it this time.
No, it's not there, Bob, and maybe, well, Zach had a bad crash in practice. It wasn't his fault. Another car spun, and they missed the second practice session, so the team had to put the car back together, and it looks like his car's up to speed. He just made a nice move around Sealski.
He sure did. So Morioka goes to second position, and at least here in the first couple of laps, we don't see any indication of holding the car back, so to speak, and saving the tires as Morioka has taken second, but now loses second position again to Sealski. All this while the lead up front is held by De Lorenzi. Meanwhile, that's Seth Taylor who's closing in fourth position, making it a 3-car. Oh, we've got a crash down in turn number 1. Looks like 2 cars are involved. One of them is Corey Wetherill. He's up against the wall, and the second car involved, I believe, is Henry Najum from India. Yeah, there's his car. He's up against the wall, so a 2-car. Back at Pikes Peak International Raceway, the green flag about to come out once again. There's the leader, Zach Morioka. Lap car between Morioka and second place Rutledge. As the green comes out, we're back to racing.
There we go. These guys are going to take advantage of every lane. We're 3-4 wide, and Buddy Rice is getting a great restart. He's slicing through traffic. He's passing Rutledge on the inside. Going into turn 2, he got a great run. And remembering back to the first race of the year, Buddy Rice is one of the guys that learned a very valuable lesson about getting your gears right for restarts, and he definitely has a lot of rolling momentum as he's closing in our leader, Zach Morioka.
Closing in quickly, as a matter of fact, as Rutledge continues to run in third place. On board with him once again. We'll see the effects of the draft here on the tri-oval and into turn number 1. Let's see if he can take the lead away from Zach Morioka. No, instead he drops back a little bit, but the important thing is look at these cars jump around at the speeds that they're turning.
Absolutely. If you notice one thing about Buddy Rice, if you see him running a little bit higher, like right now he's running about a half lane higher, that's to keep his right front wing in the clean air to help reduce the understeer. It also gets some air to his radiators so he doesn't overheat his engine. I think right now he's in a waiting game. He's just, again, saving his tires for the last 5 or 10 laps to make that charge.
Great three-car battle here for the lead as now a fourth car comes in, and I believe that is Horn, who started way back in 19th position, and Jeff has moved into fourth. Oh, a big crash in turn number 2. We've got 3 cars involved. Difficult to see who it is exactly. I believe that red car up against the wall, yeah, is Billy Puterbaugh, and also involved is Foyt and Augie Paps III. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Puterbaugh into the wall, and then Foyt and Paps become involved, and Foyt got way up on top of, it looks like, the white car.
Yeah, that's number 14, Larry Foyt. It looked like Puterbaugh maybe was pinched down and lost the car, and then here's another replay. At the upper right hand of our screen, we can see Puterbaugh starting to spin, and then that's Augie Paps and Larry Foyt coming together. They were actually innocent bystanders. They were trying to avoid the accident, and unfortunately they came together in 2 big hits.
Boy, you can say that again. There was a heavy contact, all 3 cars, and we see all 3 drivers moving around, so it appears that they're all right. Meanwhile, there is father A.J. Foyt talking to Davey Hamilton, his IRL driver. We asked A.J. why he got involved in Formula 4 2000 racing.
Well, actually, the reason I did, I like the series. I like the way the cars are built. And they're not over horsepower, they're under horsepower, and the guys can learn a lot more about driving under horsepower, so when they get horsepower, and that's what I like about the series. It's more like what we're running today, and I think when they step up and get horsepower, it'll make a big difference. But being kind of under horsepower like this here, it shows more of the talent of the race driver and setting up the car where he learns a lot more.
So Larry Foyt is out of the race because of the crash, but Jerry Foyt is still very much in it, and we've got only 4 more laps to go. This should be a great shootout. We're on board now with David Rutledge, who's running in 3rd position, and Morioka loses the lead.
There's Rice having a great restart, and again, we saw this earlier where Zach Morioka was falling back with we're assuming maybe a little engine problem. Maybe he's having a gear selection problem. Here we have the top 3 going nose to tail. Rice is running that high line. Zach's got a good run.
Oh, does he? He's got a great, but look at that. He almost loses and wiggles considerably, but hangs on to 2nd.
Zach has been running that car very loose through the race, but he was able to gather it up. Now we'll just have to see if he's able to pick up the draft from Buddy Rice and gather him back in.
3 laps to go, less than 3 laps. The field over in turn number 2. It is Rice still leading Morioka.
This is when it becomes a chess game. Buddy Rice knows that Zach's going to pick up the draft. Now it's a matter of trying to outfox him and guess which way he's going to go and block his move.
2 more laps to go, and they're wheel to wheel at the line. Morioka's on the inside. He may have the better line here through the corner. Indeed, he does. And Morioka takes the lead less than 2 laps from the finish of the race.
It's this drafting, this 2 to 3 mile an hour drafting. Here we can see Buddy Rice is picking up the draft if he's going to be able to pick a line. Looks like he's backed off just a hair in the corner. He's going to save it, I think, for the last lap, make a last lap dash and pick up this draft.
White flag is flying. Remember back in the old days of stock car racing when they used to draft and make a slingshot, say coming off of the corner on the backstretch? Well, we could see exactly the same thing here today in the Formula 4 2000 series, but it looks like Zach may have enough distance between himself and Rice that the draft isn't going to make any difference, but indeed Rice closes in here in the 3rd and 4th corners. Let's see how this thing shakes out. Rice will make a move to the inside, but no, Zach Morioka wins the race in a thrilling finish.
That was a great finish. And a very, very happy crew. And back to the earlier story I wanted to say, the reason that crew is, this race is so important, this is their hometown race. They're from Colorado. So what a better present their driver, Zach Morioka, can give to that Hayes Motorsports crew.
Well, an exciting race here at Pikes Peak International Raceway. The Brazilian teenager in his 3rd season of Formula 4 2000. Zach Morioka wins. Here's Lee.
Zach Morioka, the 7th different winner in 7 races this year. Congratulations.
Thanks. Awesome race. We had the car just perfect for the race, and we stay in the front and just keep there. It was very good for us. We qualified 3rd, and after the middle of the race, just go to the front, and it's just good to win in our hometown.
And let's not take anything away from the driver, Zach Morioka, who drove an outstanding race. They're the top 5 finishers. The top 10 includes the pole sitter, Matt Sealski. 11 through 15 includes Jerry Foyt. His brother crashed in the race. 16 through 20, great run for Jeff Horn and a tremendous run for Zach Morioka. Our next races will come from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We have 2 of them coming up. We hope you will be with us.